They built cities larger than some medieval capitals, then vanished so completely it was as if the earth itself swallowed their existence. For centuries, the world believed civilization in the Americas began with familiar names, empires with towering pyramids, written histories, and surviving descendants. But beneath jungles, deserts, and layers of forgotten soil lay evidence of something far older. A civilization that once ruled vast territories, engineered massive ceremonial centers, and shaped the future of entire continents, yet left behind no king's lists, no clear records, no surviving voice. Only stone, massive earthen mounds rose from the river valleys like artificial mountains. Carefully planned cities aligned with the stars stretched across what is now farmland and forest. Their people sculpted colossal heads of stone weighing tens of tons, each carved with faces so detailed they seemed alive. Whoever they were, they possessed organization, resources, mathematics, engineering, and spiritual systems far beyond what historians once believed possible for such an early era. And yet their true name is lost. No written language has ever been found, no stories passed down intact. Later civilizations appeared on the same lands, as if inheriting fragments of a forgotten blueprint, but none claimed direct memory of the builders. Some scholars argue they were the mother civilization of the Americas, the first great power from which others learned. Others believe they were one of many complex societies erased by time. But one haunting question remains. How could a civilization so advanced, so widespread, and so influential simply disappear, without wars recorded, without ruins of destruction, without survivors to tell the tale? History teaches that empires fall loudly, through conquest, through fire, through collapse witnessed by generations. But this one faded into silence. And the deeper archaeologists dig, the more disturbing the mystery becomes. Because the evidence suggests this civilization didn't slowly decline. It ended abruptly. Cities abandoned, monuments left unfinished, entire populations gone. Something happened. Something powerful enough to erase an entire world. And what we've uncovered so far may only be the surface of a much darker truth hidden beneath the soil. Long before many famous civilizations rose across the globe, this forgotten society was already shaping landscapes on a massive scale. They settled near fertile rivers that flooded predictably, turning soil into agricultural gold. Crops flourished in abundance, allowing populations to grow rapidly. Villages transformed into ceremonial centers. Ceremonial centers became cities. But these were not random settlements. Archaeological surveys reveal carefully planned urban layouts, with plazas, pyramidal mounds, causeways, and drainage systems. This was organized civilization, leadership, labor coordination, and engineering knowledge working together across generations. Their stone monuments tell another story of power. Colossal heads carved from volcanic rock, some taller than a human, were transported over dozens of miles without wheels, without metal tools, without beasts of burden. Each face wore distinct features, suggesting rulers or elite figures whose authority commanded enormous workforces. Their society appears to have been deeply spiritual. Temples were aligned with celestial events. Sacred art depicted powerful deities, rituals, and symbolic animals. Religion was not simply belief. It was the foundation of political power, social order, and cosmic purpose. Trade networks stretched hundreds of miles. Rare stones, jade, obsidian, and exotic materials flowed into their cities from distant regions, indicating influence that reached across entire territories. They were not isolated villagers. They were a civilization at the center of a vast economic web. At their peak, tens of thousands may have lived in major cities. Surrounding farmlands fed urban populations. Artisans crafted tools, sculptures, and ceremonial objects. Leaders ruled from elevated platforms overlooking massive public spaces. For centuries, their world thrived. But beneath the success, subtle warnings appear. Some cities were rebuilt repeatedly, as if destroyed or abandoned before being reclaimed. Environmental strain may have grown as forests were cleared and land was pushed to its limits. Flood patterns shifted, soil eroded, and signs of sudden abandonment begin appearing in layers of earth. Monuments left half-carved, homes emptied, tools dropped where they were last used. A thriving civilization was approaching something it could not control, and whatever came next would not simply weaken them, it would erase them. The fall of this civilization did not unfold like the collapse of Rome or the conquest of empires. There are no burned cities, no mass graves of invading armies, no weapons scattered across battlefields. Instead, there is silence. Archaeological layers show once busy urban centers suddenly deserted, grass growing over plazas, jungle swallowing temples, rivers reclaiming canals. One theory suggests environmental catastrophe. Massive floods may have destroyed farmland and settlements, forcing populations to flee. Volcanic activity in the region could have poisoned water supplies and darkened skies. Prolonged drought might have triggered famine. Another theory points to internal collapse, social unrest, the overthrow of elites, religious systems failing when natural disasters struck. When gods no longer protected crops, leaders may have lost legitimacy, plunging society into chaos. Some believe disease swept through densely populated cities, killing thousands and forcing survivors to abandon their homes. Others suspect invasion by rival groups, though no clear evidence of warfare has been found. And then there are the unsettling anomalies. Sudden population loss without signs of struggle. Sacred sites intentionally buried. Monuments deliberately defaced, as if survivors tried to erase the old world themselves. It's possible the collapse was not one event, but a chain reaction, environmental stress leading to social breakdown, leading to mass migration. But no matter the cause, the result was extraordinary. Within a relatively short period, one of the most powerful civilizations of its time ceased to exist as a unified culture. Its cities became ruins, its people scattered. Its identity dissolved. Later civilizations rose on the same lands, inheriting bits of knowledge, symbols, and traditions. But the original builders were already legends without names. The official story paints a natural decline, but the evidence leaves too many gaps, too many unanswered questions. And some discoveries suggest that what truly happened may have been far more sudden and far more dramatic than we've been told. In recent decades, technology has begun peeling back the layers of this lost world. Satellite imaging and aerial surveys have revealed massive city complexes hidden beneath forest canopies, entire networks of roads connecting urban centers, agricultural systems far larger than anyone imagined. What was once believed to be scattered villages is now understood as a civilization spanning vast territories. Excavations continue to uncover sophisticated engineering, water control systems, and urban planning that rivaled later societies. The more we learn, the clearer it becomes. This civilization was not primitive. It was foundational. Many scholars now believe later cultures across the region inherited religious symbols, political structures, and architectural concepts directly from these forgotten people. They were the blueprint. Yet for centuries their story was minimized, overshadowed by civilizations with written records and surviving descendants. History favored what could speak. Silence was mistaken for simplicity. But silence does not mean insignificance. It often means loss, and perhaps discomfort, because recognizing how advanced this civilization truly was forces us to rethink the timeline of human development itself. It suggests that complex societies rose earlier than we believed. That knowledge can vanish. That progress is not guaranteed. Entire worlds can disappear, leaving only fragments for the future to misinterpret. And today, as climate change, environmental strain, and social instability threaten modern civilization, their fate feels uncomfortably familiar. They built greatness. They mastered their environment. They believed their systems would last, until they didn't. The Earth remembers what humans forget. Buried cities, broken monuments, civilizations erased by forces both natural and human. So the question remains, if one of the most powerful societies of the ancient world could vanish almost without a trace, what makes us believe ours is any different?